My name is Emily Sturge, and I'm a campus Reform Correspondent. Today we're here on my campus, the University of Florida, talking to students about their thoughts on Ben Sasse. The Republican from Nebraska has now been named as the sole finalist by the university for our next university president. Let's go see what students have to say. Do you know who Ben Sasse is?
Yes, he's a Republican senator who's recently been unanimously elected to become the new University of Florida president.
Now I do.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. Yes. Kind of.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on his nomination?
None of the students are happy with it. None of the students are accepting of him and his beliefs.
I'm very excited that he's going to be our president in higher education. We see a lot of, leftists, so I think it would be great.
I don't believe he has enough experience in academia to truly sufficiently run a school of like 50,000 plus students.
The University of Florida is a predominantly liberal environment, and the fact that we're getting this type of ideological and intellectual diversity in here is absolutely fantastic.
It's really disappointing. I don't think he's going to be able to bring us to a more diverse campus.
He's a good nominee, especially with such a campus as diverse as the University of Florida. It's nice to have someone conservative nominated just because censorship is becoming so prevalent.
He was a university president. He was a professor for many years, so I think he has the qualifications aside from just the letter next to his name.
Could do a lot better than Ben Sasse in terms of diversity, inclusion.
I definitely have like a negative relationship with him being nominated, especially being a Republican.
I'm looking for positivity, and I think it might actually be a really good change.
He is typically more right-leaning than what people would anticipate to be nominated.
How much do you think his personal politics will actually impact this campus?
I don't imagine they will affect the overall student body.
If he does his job well, hopefully not at all.
When he has the final say on decisions, I think it's going to end up, his politics will influence the future of the campus.
I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know if it's going to make a direct impact.
No matter how unbiased you want to be, a person's belief will always force your actions in some sort of way.
It is possible to separate the politics from the person, and he shouldn't be looked down upon for simply being conservative.
Everything that actually has to do with the school, I feel like he doesn't have that much say, but also then again, I'm not 100% knowledgeable in what a president does.
I think he'll actually have a strong impact because this time is very polarizing. While we're facing abortion rights, while we're facing LGBTQ rights.
What do you think he'll be able to do to insert his opinion on them?
I don't think anything. I think him as a politician, him as a Republican.
Past presidents, how much do you think that their politics actually impacted this campus? Do you ever even know the politics of past presidents?
I am unaware of any past presidents.
Are there any specific issues that Sasse, either legislation or beliefs of his, that stick out to you that make you think that he's not a good fit?
I honestly wouldn't know.
He is firmly against abortion, which I find pretty restrictive.
The things that he just believes in just wouldn't work well on the campus.
There's also, again, the whole debate about LGBTQ rights. I don't think he is going to help support that community.
His Republican beliefs, I couldn't tell you off the bat, what other beliefs homeboy would have.
The protest that occurred on Monday, as Sasse came here, he did a Q&A session, and students stormed the building. Students were banging their fists on the door, trying to get in there. They're shouting, they're screaming. What are your thoughts on these protests, and what are your thoughts on the students having such outrage towards Sasse?
It just goes to show censorship being so prevalent on college campuses. We can see Gen Z kind of forcing at this point their views on others. They disapprove of conservatives in general.
I actually transferred from the College of William and Mary. Students there were similarly intolerant. It's a little bit upsetting to see that here too. What the hell did I escape from, right?
I think students should definitely be heard because, that's a pretty powerful, action. And I think actions speak louder than words.
If he had to be escorted by a cop car, it seems like maybe things were getting out of hand. It would be nice if he would address some of the concerns of the students.
That's what he was trying to do in the Q&A session, and they actually had to end it early because the protesters stormed the room.
Okay.
There's a positive way to do everything. Obviously, banging and violent measures aren't going to do anything.
His presence on campus is just going to get worse.
It is very representative of our student body. We are very loud.
It's fair for people to protest, so they're exercising their right to free speech. I think them storming the room and having him leave a questions forum, I don't think that was right.
The fact that we have people who are acting so violent to what's basically a pretty moderate Republican becoming the president, perhaps they themselves are a sign that change is needed.